Hey there.
Hey guys, this is Ryan with Southwest Virtual. I just wanted to showcase the LUVCARS update that we're working on. Um, it's still in development. There's a few issues that we've identified. I want to at least show, what we have so far. And I'm just getting some things set up. I've never actually done a live stream before, so this will be a first one. But yeah, just give me a couple minutes. I'm going to get some things set up on my end, and I'll be back with you guys. Okay guys, I am back. So we're gonna do San Diego to Vegas. I just have one monitor, so bear with me. Just getting my dispatch loaded. Our takeoff numbers. Familiar sound. Okay. Perfect. So let's go ahead and uplink to FMC. Clean some things up here. We'll leave those off for now. Let's hear the flight attendant.
Good afternoon, everyone. We would like to welcome you aboard Southwest Airlines Flight 267 with service to Las Vegas. Today, more than ever, we'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with us. Shortly after takeoff, we will serve complimentary soft drinks, juice, and coffee. Beer, wine, and liquor are also available for purchase or with a valid drink coupon. There is a beverage menu in your seat back pocket, or you may go to the Southwest beverage menu on the in-flight entertainment portal at southwestwifi.com, where these options are displayed. This aircraft is Wi-Fi equipped. We hope you enjoy our free TV and movie options. Internet service may be purchased for $8. For more information on accessing free Wi-Fi and our entertainment options, please check the beverage menu in your seat back pocket. We will let you know when you may use your approved electronic devices.
This stuff so far, what I'm doing here, this is nothing new.
Such as cell phones and tablets may be used in airplane mode.
I did add a couple options in
so
that you don't have to send the weight or the fuel to the FMC. For people that want to, use the
please review the safety information card in the seat back pocket nearest you.
PMDG,
if you do not meet all of the selection criteria on the card, are unable to perform the function, or believe that performing those functions may cause you harm, please let us know right now so we can reseat you. So that we may push back from the gate, please fasten your seatbelt, raise your seat back and tray table to the full upright and locked position, and make sure carry-on items are completely under the seat, in front of you, or in an overhead bin, leaving the area around your feet clear. Laptop computers and portable electronic devices of similar size must also be stowed at this time. If you wish to use them after takeoff, please stow them under the seat in front of you.
Probably one left.
Thank you for choosing Southwest Airlines. Welcome aboard.
Okay, looks good. Okay, let's do the flight deck preparation. This is the first flight of the day. Make sure she's all set up here. Okay, so let's do that. Flight deck preparation.
Check.
So she's going to test the oxygen, test lights, test a bunch of things. Let her do her thing. She's going to set our runway heading, MCP heading box, and then she's going to set the, I believe it's the engine out heading and the EFP heading, and the course selectors. Then she's going to test the GPWS, and then she'll do a
glide slope.
TCAS check.
Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
You can also tell her to change frequencies for you. Set COM 1 to 125.87.
Check.
So she just did that. Set COM 1 to Unicom.
Check.
Right, she can do that as well. Okay.
TCAS test. Pass.
Right. And the last thing she does is she puts the transponder to TARA. And the flight deck preparation is taken care of. If this was the second flight or third flight, fourth flight of the day, then we would have done the through flight procedure. Let's see, what else is there to do? Using this new tool, I will say, is going to make you a better pilot. I've learned some things that, maybe some bad habits that I developed, or things that I just wasn't doing, or things that I was doing that maybe I didn't need to do. Okay, so let's just double check something. Let's make sure that our weight is correct. 132.7, LUVCARS says I'm 132.7, perfect. Fuel's 10.9. Let's take off fuel, so we're good there. Okay, so I'm going to start up the APU. I don't have to say anything. I don't have to do anything with the fuel pump. She'll take care of that. Start APU.
Check.
Alright, so she fired up the that one pump only. She's starting the APU. When the blue light comes on, she'll put us on the bus, and then she'll take care of the bleeds about 1 minute after that. Go ahead and turn the rest of those on now. Put that on. Everything else looks pretty good. Let's see, what else can we do? I guess
APU blue light. I will turn on the APU bleed in about 1 minute.
Thank you, Rachel. That's her name, by the way. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do the before start originating checklist. Before start originating checklist.
Before start originating checklist. Logbook.
Aboard.
Landing gear pins.
3 aboard.
Fire warning and overheat.
Checked.
Start levers.
Cut off.
Stab trim cutout switches.
I should be looking when I'm doing this right. Normal.
Lights test.
Checked.
FMC.
Programmed.
Briefings.
Complete.
Oxygen masks and quantity.
Checked. Checked.
EECs.
On.
Navigation switches.
Normal.
Display switches.
Auto and normal.
Fuel.
Let's see. So it's what we've been cleared with, not necessarily what we have. Both. 10.9 cleared with 10.9. Center pumps off. Yeah, this one always gets a lot of us. 10.9 cleared with 10.9. Center pumps off. Skip item.
Passenger signs.
On.
Window heat.
On.
Hydraulic pumps.
A's off, B's on.
Pressurization.
Set auto.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Auto brake.
RTO.
Takeoff warning horn.
Checked.
Parking brake.
Set.
Transponder.
TARA.
Aileron and rudder trim.
Centered. Centered.
Before start checklist complete.
Okay, so the before start checklist is complete. Let's wait for her to finish programming the FMC, and then we'll do the before push checklist. Sorry guys, you want me to turn my mic up? My mic is probably at the highest it will go. Let's see. Is that better? Alright, so she's done loading. That will execute that. Okay. Just make sure that, okay. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, let's do the before push checklist. Okay. So I'm going to put this on a different screen for a minute. You can just see what she'll do. She's going to change this as we go through that checklist. I'm going to put this on, I'll just do the legs for now. Before push checklist.
Before push checklist. 0 fuel weight.
132.7 set.
Takeoff weight.
143.7 cross-checked.
PWB remarks.
Reviewed.
N1s.
56/16 reduced set.
Runway.
27 set. 27 set. She doesn't like that. 27 set. 27 set. Skip item.
Flaps.
PWB 5, CDU 5.
V speeds.
138, 141, 145 set.
Stab trim.
This is the stab trim that's inside of LUVCARS, which is going to be different than what the PMDG has. 5.2 set.
Min cleanup altitude.
Wasn't really set, but she doesn't know that. 1017 set.
Flight deck door.
Lights out.
Before push checklist. Complete.
I'll have to look into the runway why she didn't pick up 27. Because it should just be 27 set, but maybe she was expecting 27, I don't know. Alright, so we did that checklist. Let's get GSX going here. Pushback procedure. Southwest Airlines. Pushback procedure.
Check.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So you notice that she set our V2 is here. This is our heading, runway heading. 15,000 is the top altitude on the Echo 2 departure. Again, the 275 is the
Bypass pin inserted.
EFP heading, which just happens to be the runway heading. She did set our min cleanup altitude, 1017. She set the altimeters automatically for us, 3004. If this changes, you'll need to just set it manually. You know, she's not going to know if the weather changes. She's also not going to know if you change it on her. Unfortunately, we can't read these variables here from PMDG, so we have to kind of assume that things remain the way they are. Alright, so we've got our anti-collision on. I don't know which way we should go. We're offline, so we can go anyway. Let's just go tail right. It's fine.
Release parking brakes.
Let's remove the chocks and release the brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So I did not know this until I started writing this feature into LUVCARS, but apparently the first officer at Southwest will actually start the engines. So I'm not going to start them. She will start them for me. She's nice like that. Start number 2.
Start number 2.
She's going to do all the work.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention for just a moment, we'd like to point out the safety features of our Boeing 737-800. A safety information card is in the seat
Oil
back or
pressure.
literature pocket in front of you. To fasten your seatbelt, slide the flat end into the buckle. Pull the loose strap to tighten. To release,
23%
lift up on the buckle.
N2.
Position your seatbelt tight and low across your hips and
Yeah,
release
light
anytime
off.
you are seated. There are 8 emergency exits, 2 forward exit doors, 4 overwing window exits, and 2 exit doors in the back. Signs overhead and lights on the floor lead to exits. If an evacuation is necessary, follow flight attendant commands.
No idea what that is.
This aircraft is equipped with life rafts. 2 life rafts are located in the forward ceiling compartment and 2 life rafts are located in the ceiling compartments at mid-cabin. In the event of a water evacuation, use the life
So when she
vest
says
under
roll
your
back,
seat. Remove the vest
that's
only
when
if
she's
pulled
going to
through
start
Roll
the
back.
to
Pull the red
switch the
strap to open the
bleeds.
container and remove the pouch. Remove the
Or
vest
switch,
from the pouch as
sorry,
shown
put
on
the
the
right
safety
pack on.
information card. Place the vest over your
Isolation
head.
valve closed.
Wrap the strap around your waist. Buckle
Start
it
number
in
1.
front and pull the
Start number
button.
1.
Once outside, pull down on the red tag to inflate the vest. To manually inflate, blow into the tube at your shoulder. Your vest has a light that turns on automatically in the water.
Oil
Please
pressure.
refer to the safety information
Oil
card
pressure is
for use of
rising.
the life vest on an infant. Flight attendants will distribute additional vests if needed. We are coming by to check that your seat
Cut
belt
off
is
to
fastened,
idle.
your seat back is tray
Set
table,
parking
and your
brakes.
full
That I
outboard
can
light
do.
position, and your carry-on items
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
forward and overhead bin, leaving the
On
area
Pickett ground,
behind
we have a good
seat.
engine start.
Smoking is
You can
not allowed on
disconnect.
board, including the lavatory. The use and charging of electronic cigarettes is prohibited. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying any smoke detector in an aircraft lavatory. It is also prohibited to consume alcohol that you have brought with you on this flight. Federal aviation regulations require passenger compliance with the lighted passenger information sign, posted
Roll
flags,
back.
Roll back.
and crew member instructions, including
So now she's going to start the clock, right? We got to
Unlock
wait 2 minutes before we can take off. That won't be a problem with this taxi. So both engines are started. We can do the after start procedure.
Check.
So she puts us.
Secure the mask with the elastic strap.
Standing by flaps.
Disconnect. Bypass to remote.
Bag may not inflate. Continue wearing masks.
Left is clear.
Otherwise,
Right is clear.
Flaps 5.
Flaps
If you are
5.
traveling with children or anyone needing special assistance, put on your mask first. Please remove any face coverings before donning an oxygen mask. We are here for your comfort and safety. Please report any unwelcome behavior to a flight attendant. Thank you for your attention. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy your 1 hour and 20 minutes flight to Las Vegas. Welcome aboard.
Okay, I just set up a push to talk. That way it's, I guess there was some feedback. Okay, the next thing we can do is, it's everyone's favorite one. I don't know if this is going to work if I have the push to talk. I guess we'll try it. The control check. Control check.
Control check.
Yeah, we like how she says control check back to you. Okay, that normally would actually be the real control check, right? They're going to check all the surfaces. We're going to skip that, pretend it's a sin, everything's fine. I have failures disabled. I'm going to tell her to stop the APU. So let's say stop APU. Stop APU.
Okay, I'll turn the APU off.
Thank you. Alright, so we can do the before taxi checklist. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Electrical.
Generators on.
Probe heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Flight controls.
Free.
Flight deck windows.
Closed and locked.
Flaps.
CDU 5 indicates 5, green light.
Before taxi checklist, complete.
Okay, taxi checklist complete. Okay, let's taxi the aircraft. Alright, so I guess I'm supposed to stay below 45% N1, according to the training department anyway. Now, if we were going to cross a runway, or we're going to enter a runway, we normally would turn all of our lights on. Then when we clear the runway, we would turn the lights back off. Obviously, taxi light would stay on, but you can tell her to turn the lights on and the lights off. She's only going to do her side, so that's kind of how we set it up. That's how they do it at Southwest Real World. So basically, this is mine. This is mine. I mean, she does flip the fuel pump on for the APU. This is hers. This is hers. So she, if I say lights on, she's going to take care of these, you know, whatever the appropriate action items are. She's not going to touch my lights. So if you're expecting that she's going to do everything for you, nah, you got to do a little work. But let's say, for example, this was, you know, the beginning of a runway. We could just say lights on.
Lights on.
Right, so she puts the lights on. We're crossing the runway or entering a runway, and then we want to say lights off.
Lights off.
Right, so she'll turn them back off. As we make our way to the runway, we'll do the attendant notification, and we can do the before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist.
We've been cleared for
Min takeoff
departure.
fuel.
Enjoy your
Verified.
Departure plan.
Not required.
Attendant notification.
Complete.
Electrical.
Generators on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Packs.
Auto.
Bleeds.
Engines on, APU off.
Start switches.
Left continuous.
APU.
Off.
Flaps.
CDU 5 indicates 5, green light. CDU 5 indicates 5, green light.
Start levers.
Idle.
Recall.
Checked.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
It's official. It's official. I'm almost off the taxiway. Okay, so the before takeoff is complete. Maybe that was a little early, but at least we got it taken care of. So we're taking off with flaps 5, so when we take off we get to min cleanup altitude. I'm going to say set speed, flaps 1 climb thrust. She's going to put in the VREF 40 plus 70, which will be like 200 and like 210 maybe, 205. She'll bring us up to flaps 1. And she should take care of the climb thrust, make sure that we're on climb, not climb, like a derated climb. You don't have to say that. You could just say flaps 1, flaps up, whatever the appropriate call out is. and it's been 8 minutes, so we're pretty good. She'll take care of the clock. She'll stop the clock for you. Don't worry about it. If you stop it for her, she's going to start it again. Lights on.
Lights on.
I like to start the clock on my side. Set thrust. Set takeoff thrust.
The engines are not above 40% N1.
Oh,
Please
okay.
stabilize the engines
Set takeoff
first.
thrust.
Check.
Yeah, I probably should have.
80 knots. V1. Rotate.
Landing gear up.
Positive rate. Landing gear up.
I just told her to put the landing gear up. I've got 2 push to talks now, one for her and one for you guys. My hand isn't long enough to hit both at the same time. Alright, so now we've approached our min cleanup. There's our min cleanup, so we can say set speed, flaps 1, climb thrust.
Set speed, flaps 1, climb thrust.
Right, and so now we can say flaps. I think we could say flaps up now. Flaps up.
Flaps up.
And she will take care of the auto brake and she will take care of the gear. And then I'm going to put this back to 250. Yep, she did her job. And she stopped the clock. So when you put your flaps up and the gear up, she'll move everything. She'll take care of the auto brake, she'll take care of the gear, and she'll stop her clock. Why are we climbing? Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not at 250 by default, and it's weird because there's no altitudes here either. So when we get to 10,000, we can do the climb checklist. Reset that. I don't know if it accepts more cowbell. Yeah, she should have taken us out of whatever, we're in climb 1 or... I think there's going to be something's definitely weird going on. It's not with her, it's not with LUVCARS, it's something with my sim for some reason. Because it's like there's no altitudes here. Alright, so we're going through 10,000. Yeah, see, like it's almost like it thinks my flaps are out for some reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, use of all portable electronic devices is now permitted in airplane mode with cellular functions turned off. In a few moments, we will be coming through to take your drink orders. We will be serving complimentary soft drinks, juice, and coffee. Beer, wine, and liquor are available for purchase or with a valid drink coupon. There is a
Yeah, I don't know why this isn't working, but...
Or you may go to the Southwest beverage menu on the in-flight entertainment portal Southwest.
Go ahead and set this to 28,000. It's a good thing I'm doing this offline.
Please be mindful of the flight attendant serving you in the aisle and remain seated while...
Alright, we're going to do the climb checklist in a minute.
We have
Climb
lavatories
checklist.
in the
Climb
front and back of
checklist.
the aircraft.
Pressurization.
Sign on the ceiling indicates whether the lavatory
Checked.
is
Start
on.
switches.
Please do not form a line at the forward lavatory.
Off.
Your safety
APU.
will always be
Off.
the number one
Climb checklist
priority,
complete.
so please don't hesitate to
Climb
let us
checklist
know.
complete. I'm going to turn the taxi light off. We'll turn these guys off when we get to 18. She'll turn her stuff off when we get to 18 as well. Yeah, I mean, as far as the FS2 crew goes, so I mean, I'll be pretty transparent about it. I've used FS2 crew a long time ago. I mean, maybe 15 years ago, and honestly forgot about it, to be honest with you. And I wanted to add something into LUVCARS that you would be able to go through certain checklists and things like that. And I wasn't even thinking about FS2 crew. And yeah, there are some similarities, but you know, the one thing that, you know, we need to remind everyone is whether it's their program, this program, or any program, what we're doing here is not specific to Southwest Virtual. It's specific to Southwest. These are the flows, these are the checklists, these are the procedures. So we're not trying to step on anyone's toes here. So if you're using FS2 crew, that's fine. If you want to use LUVCARS, fine. If there's something else out there that does this and it's even better, great. I mean, you know, use it. Use whatever you want to use. You know, I really just wanted something for myself where I could do this, and I think I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it anyway when it works. When yeah, you know, sometimes she's a little buggy, and you know, we got to work through those things. 18,000 feet standard set.
Check.
So she just turned her lights off. Oh, let me turn mine off. It's a little early, but San Diego to Las Vegas is a pretty short flight. I'm going to request my landing data. And since I'm offline, I'm going to give myself a full arrival for this whole route. We're going to clear ourselves direct Meissen. So yeah, that pretty much takes care of LUVCARS, or sorry, that takes care of Rachel up to this point. You know, there are a few different ways you could have went about this. There are certain things that she's expecting, like certain orders. You're going to start engine 2, then 1. You know, you're not going to start 1 and 2. I don't believe there's a case where that would happen. You know, whether you start the APU first and then you do flight deck prep. You know, I'm going to leave it up to the real Southwest pilots and people that know the procedures better than I do to answer whether that's right or wrong. But in terms of LUVCARS itself, it doesn't really matter. There is no cruise checklist, so we don't have to worry about anything during cruise. So for now, it's business as usual. You could do a captain announcement. That's another feature that we've added in, so you can put your mic selector to PA. You're going to hear a ding dong. After you hear that, you hold down your push to talk, record a message, or say a message. When you release the push to talk, about 10 seconds later, you're going to hear it over your output device that the flight attendant announcements are on. If you're going to do that, and you can do that at any time. You cannot do it in the middle of a checklist. I don't recommend it. You know, I mean, I guess you could, but I wouldn't recommend it, because then you're going to forget where you were in the checklist, and then, you know, just kind of gets out of sequence. But I'll go ahead and demonstrate that one real quick. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. We're climbing up to 28,000 feet today. Should be a smooth ride to Vegas. I'll talk to you again just before our top of descent. Thank you. So a little message there. In a few seconds, you'll hear it over the speakers. Yeah, there's something wrong with the, oh, now it looks okay. Yeah, that's weird. So we had to get up to cruise and then it will work. Let's see if this works. Okay, 0.75. Yeah, that's good. No judging, by the way, on my flying. This is not a flight to demonstrate how to fly. This is a flight to demonstrate how to use LUVCARS, the new update, and what it has to offer. The landing data came back. is 151. So that's set. Let's say we're going to do the ILS. I mean, it's a pretty nice day. I probably could do the visual, but I want to demo something here. So our decision height, let's see, is going to be 2460. So we can set our baro minimums. Set baro minimums to 2460.
Check.
So she set that for us, 2460. That I like. That is that's a game changer in my opinion. It's the little things sometimes. Alright, 2460 set. And it's the ILS, one left from Roman. Go ahead and upload the forecast. And let's set this in. I guess we could always have her say, another feature we could add is, you know, set nav 1 or something like that. She doesn't do that currently. One 10.10 set and 014. So we got that set. We're on Unicom. Let's just change the frequency just for testing purposes. Set COM1 to 121.90. Set COM1 to 121.90.
Check.
Okay, so we were able to change frequencies. We're talking to ground from 28,000. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Minimums.
Set.
VREF and VTarget.
You know, it'd be nice if when she says that, while I'm thinking of this, if she went to this page, that'd be nice. 146, 151 set.
Auto brake.
3 set.
Recall.
Checked.
Descent checklist complete.
Okay, descent checklist complete. We still have another 40 miles until top drop. I should set the altimeter, 3007. So that is set. So when we come in for the approach, there's a few different ways that we can do this. Just like on takeoff, you know, there is the option for set speed, flaps 1 climb thrust, or flaps 5 climb thrust, or you know, whatever it is you need to call out. You didn't have to say that. You could have just said flaps 1. You know, if you weren't even going to use that at all and you're just going to do it yourself, that's also fine. You're not required to use all of these features. You can use the ones you want. I mean, you don't even have to use this at all. But I think once you start using it, you're going to get hooked, and then you're going to get used to it, and then you're going to expect it. But yeah, so you can say, like when we're coming in, we can say flaps 1, flaps 5, flaps 15. We could also say flaps 1 set speed, where she'll put out flaps 1 and then change the MCP speed window to what the flaps 1 speed bug would be. And then as we get closer to final, we can say like flaps 30 set target, and she'll actually set our target speed. And she's going to set whatever's in LUVCARS 1, that was our target speed. So we have some options. There's a guide that will be put out, and you guys can choose, you know, which order or which commands you want to say, but we'll put them all in there so that you have the option. You can also say set speed, you know, 210, and she'll do that. The big thing is if you tell her to set a speed, to my knowledge, we can't detect whether this window is open or closed. Like right now it's closed, now it's open. So if you tell her to set speed right now, she'll do it, but you're not going to see this change. Nothing's really going to happen. You'll see this knob term. That's about it. So there's a little bit of you got to use some of these commands, you know, at the appropriate time, and you got to do some of the work for her, just like she'll do a lot of the work for you. Yeah, then landing gear is, you can say landing gear down or landing gear down flaps 15. Either or. You can't just say gear down. That's not, I mean, maybe they do that at Southwest informally, but according to the, you know, from what I've been told, they say landing gear down. Anyway, we're approaching top of descent. We're 11 out. Let's go ahead and put this to 240. That's for you, Will. Drag required. So I'm descending 10 miles earlier than it wanted me to, and now it's saying drag required. Doesn't sound like it was doing much planning. I'm just reading the chat, sorry. I only got one monitor, so it's like minimizing certain things. Yeah, so she's not gonna correct you. Like if you say 3 set, but you really had 2, or vice versa, she's just gonna accept it. I didn't want this thing to controlling that every little thing is, let's just keep it simple. And if we find that, you know, people are just sort of pencil whipping, so to speak, their way through the checklist and just saying what she expects and not really checking it, and we find that we need to implement something like that, we certainly could. Some things we're not going to be able to read, unfortunately, just because of the technology, but I think that we certainly could. I believe we can read the auto brake knob. Alright, so we're approaching 240. I'm going to drop this to 18. Now this is just how I do it. I don't know if that's even like how you're supposed to do it, but I don't like putting myself down all the way to 10,000 or all the way to 5,000 because, you know, it's nice to, it's like a reminder, you know, 1,000 feet before this, you'll get the little reminder like, hey, and you know, okay, when we get to 18,000, we're going to do the approach checklist. When we get to 10,000, you know, we'll do the 10,000 call out. And obviously if ATC didn't clear us, you know, that they only cleared us to 20, then I would set it at 20. And by the way, in my opinion, if you do the, well, not so much 18,000, but if you set this to 10, that ensures that you make sure you're below 250 or at 250 and or below. Before you go below 10, you won't get a held report for that. Okay, so 22,000. Yeah, we'll have a manual so that you guys can follow along that way too. John just texted me a bunch of call-outs that we should add to LUVCARS. Set full cowbell. Give me more cowbell. Punch it, Chewy. Delete the D-rate. Full N1, baby. I like it. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to limit her vocabulary in the sense that, you know, the more I give her, yeah, the more she can understand, but at the same time, the more she can get confused too, right? I mean, this is just ones and zeros, so, and the fact that she can understand our voices and do all this, I think is pretty cool. But she, you know, she can get confused too. There's a tool inside of Windows actually that we'll recommend everyone run that it takes about 10 minutes. You read a bunch of sentences, it calibrates your voice so that Windows knows, you know, how you, because everyone talks a little differently, right? So that'll definitely help with any dictation issues and her not understanding you. I don't want to make the vocabulary though too big of a database in the sense that now there's so many different things and you try to say one thing and she does something else unexpected, or especially when you're on short final, or like, you know, putting the landing gear up on, you know, when you're at 300 feet. Had that happen at the beginning. Or the landing gear down when you're at cruise altitude. I've had that happen too. So, but she's a lot better now, but Alright, so we're approaching 18,000. I'm going to drop this down to 10. And we'll do the approach checklist now. It's close enough. Approach checklist. So she put her lights back
Approach
on, put my
checklist.
lights on.
Altimeters.
Close enough. Set.
Packs.
Auto.
Start switches.
Left continuous. Left continuous.
Approach checklist complete.
Helps if I hold down both push to talks. Alright, so we're through 18,000. 3007 on the altimeter. Speed looks okay. So that's set to 10. I guess I should have been changing this, huh? Let's see, she's at 20 miles. She will move her range, by the way, automatically. You know, when you're on the ground, it'll be tighter, and when you're up at cruise, she'll move it out. Yeah, John, that one's pretty bad. Not gonna lie, but it's all good. Try not to get political. God, it feels like we've been on approach forever. We're on descent forever. Alright, maybe we do another cabin announcement. Just to fill up some time here. Hello, ladies and gentlemen from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. We are...
Please go laptop computer and similarly sized electronic devices. Small portable
I did not expect that to
electronic
happen.
devices Continue to be used in airplane mode, but must be secure.
Yeah, that's right. My PA. Yeah, I didn't even finish that one. Well, whatever, you get the point. Alright, so she's slowing it back to 250. I like to just do that on my own. Yeah, there's no way we're gonna make 250 at rounders. I'll help it out a little bit. Yeah, looks like everything stayed the same. Fuel is still 6.3. VREF and V target are still the same. That's good. Alright, we're below 250, or I'll just do that. Put this down to, let's do 8,000. 35 minutes so far in the air. Yeah, I know. Captain has priority on the PA. Yeah, I mean, there's an option where, like, on my end, when we do that, I could have had a delay, like, wait for the announcement that was playing to finish. But, you know, maybe you just want to do it now. You're like, hey, it's my turn. I'm gonna start to slow it up a little bit here. I have the habit of coming in fast. Alright, so we're approaching 10,000.
10,000 feet.
Checked. Oh, I should probably put that back right. Jeez. That's one way to burn off some fuel. Alright, that's armed. We got 8,000 set. I'm gonna put 6,300 in there. So I'm gonna put 7,000 in there because go around is 7,000. Alright, let's slow this to 210. So now, like here's a perfect example. I could say, right now, I could say flaps 1, set speed. But if we're supposed to be over Roman at 210, which is probably not gonna happen, it's gonna actually drop this back to like 185 or something like that. So maybe we want to just say for now flaps 1. I think that would be appropriate so that we can still keep the 210. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
You guys can check out my hydraulics. Alright, we see the localizers alive here. We'll arm that guy. So now I'm just going to demonstrate what it will do. I know flaps 1 is already out, but I'm going to say flaps 1 set speed. You'll see this change, and the lever's not going to do anything. She'll read back flaps 1 because that's what you told her to do. Flaps 1 set speed.
Flaps 1.
Alright, so she set it to 189. Okay, that's what the flaps 1 speed bug is. And we're going to arm the approach. And glide slope should be captured here shortly. We'll put out flaps 5. Flaps 5 set speed.
Flaps 5.
Alright, so So now we've got flaps 5, speeds 169 set. We're about 20 knots faster than that right now. Everything's good here. Just make that a little bit brighter. Flaps 15, set speed.
Flaps 15.
And then we'll do landing gear down. Landing gear down.
Landing gear down.
Make the airplane happy. Flaps 30, set target. Be amazed if she could hear me with that frickin' thing going off. Flaps 30, set target.
Flaps 30.
So there's my target, 151. She's got flaps 30 out. Or it's on its way. Alright, let's do the before landing checklist. Before landing checklist.
Before landing checklist. Speed brake.
Armed green light. That's the wrong push to talk. That's just you guys. Armed green light.
Landing gear.
Down 3 green.
Flaps.
30 green light.
Before landing checklist complete.
Before landing checklist complete. Excellent. I like to get my throttles to where the throttles actually are. So we'll disconnect the autopilot and we'll disconnect the auto throttle, and it's all up to me, because she ain't gonna help you with this part. So we're gonna hopefully here, if everything's working, approaching minimums at about 2560, and then minimums at 2460.
1,000 feet.
There's 1,000. We're gonna continue this, of course. We have the runway in sight, and we are, or hopefully will be stabilized, continue to be stabilized.
$500. Approaching minimums. Minimums.
$100, 50, 30, 10.
Deployed.
Touchdown. We'll exit on the next taxiway.
Auto brake disarm. 60 knots.
take this taxiway here.
On behalf of this flight crew and Southwest Airlines, welcome to Las Vegas. Please
So when we clear the side stripe of the runway, we'll tell her
Seat back
flaps
and
up.
tray cable in their full upright and locked position, and
Flaps
all
up.
carry-on items completely under the seat in front
Flaps
of you.
up.
When the captain
Flaps
turns
up.
off the fasten seatbelt sign, please be careful.
Alright, now
of
she's gonna
opening
clean up the
overhead
aircraft for
bins.
us.
Items may have twisted during flight and could fall out. You may now use the cellular function of your small portable electronic devices, but please remain seated and leave
So
your
she
carry-on
is starting her clock
Please be
too.
advised the
Right, we
aircraft
gotta
doors
wait,
will
I
be
believe it's
open
1
during
minute?
ground servicing.
1 or 2 minutes for, before we can shut the engines down. I think in the max it's 3 minutes.
You are connecting here to another Southwest flight.
But anyway,
Please
we're gonna
check the
cross this
monitors and
runway, so we'll do
terminals for your
lights
flight
on.
gate number.
Lights on.
We have enjoyed
Lights on.
sharing part of our day with you. We know you have a choice when you fly, and we thank you for choosing Southwest Airlines.
And we're offline, so there's no traffic.
On the bus?
She turned the APU on, we're now on the bus. Lights off.
Lights off?
I mean, it would be nice if she turned my lights off, but that's not how they do it in the real world, so. And in the real world, they're not flying with definitely with the setup that I got. That's for sure. Alright, what else can we do here? That's pretty much it. So yeah, she put the flaps up after I said flaps up. She took care of the auto brake, she put that off, she shut our lights off. You have to stow the speed brake, it's on your side. Let's see, she turned the clock on. We're past that 1 minute now. She turned the APU on. She put us on the bus. She won't do the bleeds, not until we get to the gate. I'm just gonna go to one of these gates. Yeah, this airplane actually goes to Charlie 3, but I bet you like Bravo 10 or 11's looking pretty good. I know where I'm going. Maybe I can get GSX to work. That's not gonna happen. Alright, so not this one, but the next one is Bravo 10. See Bravo 10, I'm going to turn the taxi light off. Be considerate of our virtual ground crew. for me. So she will automatically do the engine shutdown procedure when you kill the engines. So basically when you go to end your flight, she'll go ahead and do that procedure, so you don't even have to say it. I mean, you can say it if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary. And like I said, she'll take care of the bleeds. And that's it. And then we got the parking checklist. Parking checklist. Parking checklist.
Parking checklist. Parking brake.
Set.
Start levers.
Cutoff.
Fuel pumps.
One on.
Window heat.
Off.
Probe heat.
Auto.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Hydraulic pumps.
Electrics off.
Start switches.
Off.
Oil quantity.
So you can give her a percentage. She doesn't actually know what the percentage is, but we'll say 80%. Actually, we'll be conservative. 77%.
Hydraulic quantity.
99%.
Radar.
The PMGG doesn't actually have the radar, but it would be test in the real world. Test.
Transponder.
Standby and zeros.
Parking checklist complete.
And that's the parking checklist. So yeah, my flight is already finished. Really not in a flight. I could do some things in this, but there's some things you can't do because you're not in a flight. You can't do like through flight, or you can't do flight deck prep. But you could, you know, I could tell her stop the APU. We're not on ground power, but let's do that. So I'm not even in a flight right now. Yeah, it'd be cool actually if you said to her something like, you know, connect to ground power. I don't know what they say in the real world. Or maybe the captain does that, I don't know. Stop APU.
Okay, I'll turn the APU off.
Okay, so now we have nothing coming in, but so yeah, now we're on electrics. We could shut that off. Let's see, you know, we could still change the comms. Setcom 1 to Unicom.
Check.
Setcom 1 to 125.67.
Check.
What else can we do? Set speed 250.
Check.
Set RA minimums to 060. I should probably done like that. Set RA minimums to 060.
Check.
Yeah, I should probably want a more authoritative voice, not my uncertainty. Yeah, there's no commands for heading or altitude at the moment. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. we'll have to do that. Alrighty guys, thank you for watching, and girls, thank you for watching and listening. I don't think there's any other questions. I'm pretty excited to the base thinks of it. The feedback that I've gotten so far has been pretty positive. Get them quickly fixed. But as you can see, there's a lot of things that she can do, and we'll probably continue to add a few other things. There's some other technology things that we want to focus on after this update. The website is definitely one of them, so I'll probably shift to that for a little bit. With the program, that'll certainly do that. Alright, I think with that, I think we can close this down. Again, thank you for watching, and we will post more updates on the Southwest Virtual Discord channel, as we have them. And again, thanks for joining, and have a great night. We'll see you guys.